I think the timing has been a question, but I've expected the Supreme Court to rule on this, and frankly, I expect the Supreme Court to toss out the Colorado decision, which barred Trump from the ballot there, and not just because there are the majority of the justices who are conservative, but there's enough debate and question on this, and my expectation, I could be wrong. I've been wrong about everything else, so this shouldn't be any different necessarily. But I think the court is going to say there has been no procedure, there's been no jury trial or verdict that determines that has given the former president, due process here. And so it's the Colorado Supreme Court that has declared that he is guilty of insurrection and therefore barred from the ballot. I would just be very surprised if this stands. And I think that in many ways, this is an important decision for the Supreme Court to reach, because if it rules otherwise, we're going to get a bizarre patchwork across the country. And then the former president's case, narrative that he is being persecuted, that he is being kept from the ballot, is really going to resonate. The one thing that he says and his allies say that really should resonate with most everyone is the most important court here is the court of public opinion, and that's the ballot box. So it's going to be a very interesting thing to see this played out, to see this argued, to see what the justices say. The Colorado Supreme Court, which ruled that he should not be on the ballot there, was actually a thoughtful opinion. Whether you agree with it or not, it was argued cleanly and clearly. But I think that we're coming very rapidly to a critical decision point here. As I say, I expect the Supreme Court to say, put him on the ballot.
Gene Rossi, what is your view on this? The Supreme Court invoked the 14th Amendment, which disqualifies a candidate on the basis that that candidate may have engaged in insurrection. Explain this to us. Does the candidate actually have to be found guilty of insurrection for that to take effect? Or can the court just decide without any verdict?
Well, the answer is he does not have to be found guilty. And there are basically three camps on this issue. On one side, you have Michael Ludwig, one of the most conservative judges that the federal court system has ever had. You have the Federalist Society, and you have, another a strange bedfellow, Lawrence Tribe, saying that it's very clear that you don't have to be convicted. If there's an evidence of insurrection, they cannot be on a ballot or be elected. But on the other side, which has a good point, this is a political question. It's non-justiciable, as they say, and that it's up to Congress at the end. If President Trump is reelected, it's up to Congress to keep him out. So in the middle, you'll probably have the Supreme Court. My prediction is sort of like what Frank just said. I think the Supreme Court is going to pass this like a hot potato, and they're probably going to find a technical way to get out of it without establishing precedent and saying that President Trump did not have enough due process at the Colorado level.